Reactors were not going to react to that, because reactors don't always react to songs just to make money. Sometimes it's simply to get into the algorithm, to gain subs, to get growth, because this is their job, and this is the latest content they can put out, and people are tripping for no reason. They can't help it if certain content doesn't have claims on it. That's not their fault. The hip-hop world is in absolute disbelief right now because Drake, one of the most calculated and dominant rappers of the last decade, just took what might be the biggest L of his entire career, and this time it didn't come from a diss track. It came from a courtroom. After months of legal back and forth following Kendrick Lamar's "Not Like Us" explosion, Drake's attempt to sue over alleged defamation has completely blown up in his face. What started as a bold legal move to protect his reputation has spiraled into an embarrassing public nightmare that has not only damaged his credibility in rap, but exposed how fragile his entire empire might be when tested outside the studio. Commentators immediately called this a soft move by Drake, questioning why he would throw reactors' names into the mix and even involve YouTubers who had nothing to do with spreading defamatory content. When Dre texted, people wondered what he even said, because it couldn't possibly be about reactors spreading defamation. The lawsuit was supposed to be Drake's power move, a statement that he wouldn't let Kendrick's cultural impact define him. But when he filed legal documents claiming the song was defamatory, the industry was stunned. Hip-hop beef has always followed one rule: handle it on the mic. From Nas and Jay-Z to 50 Cent and Ja Rule, the battlefield has always been lyrical, never legal. By dragging lawyers into a war of bars, Drake didn't just break tradition. He broke trust with the culture that made him. Fans didn't see a strong artist defending himself. They saw a pop star who couldn't take the heat, and that decision is now haunting him. His defamation case, meant to intimidate Kendrick's camp and anyone pushing the narrative, has triggered two brutal counter lawsuits dismantling his strategy. The first lawsuit, filed by representatives connected to Not Like Us distributors, accuses Drake of frivolous litigation, basically wasting the court's time to silence art. The second lawsuit, filed by cultural and free speech advocates, accuses him of trying to suppress artistic expression. What makes it worse is how fast it all unfolded. Less than 3 weeks after Drake submitted the lawsuit, word spread that multiple legal groups were preparing counteraction, not to defend Kendrick, but to defend artistic freedom overall. The backlash was immediate. Hip-hop veterans, entertainment lawyers, and fans called out the hypocrisy. Drake's reputation as a cultural opportunist had always been debated, but now it's being used as legal evidence. The irony couldn't be more obvious. An artist accused of manufacturing authenticity is now being accused of manufacturing victimhood, and the damage extends far beyond courtrooms. This moment has completely shifted how the hip-hop community sees Drake. The lawsuit didn't make him look powerful. It made him look weak, a rapper who could drop platinum records but couldn't drop a solid response to a diss track. People mocked him, joking about him hitting the red button and calling lawyers instead of picking up a pen, and even asked if there was any chance of a countersuit. Universal Music Group responded to Drake's lawsuit by saying the claims were untrue and that harming Drake's reputation made no sense for them, making Drake look even worse. Many called his actions lame, labeling him a loser and saying he wasn't hip-hop anymore. Not Like Us dismantled his image musically, and now the legal aftermath is dismantling it morally. His empire, built on control, charisma, and a carefully polished persona, is starting to crumble under the weight of his own ego. The more Drake fights, the deeper the hole becomes, and this fallout has reached a level of chaos nobody predicted. What started as an attempt to silence a song has turned into a public humiliation campaign. Industry insiders are calling it the biggest legal backfire in modern hip-hop history. Every move Drake's team makes triggers louder backlash. The narrative has flipped. He's no longer the victim, but the aggressor, someone trying to police art and silence competition. The frivolous litigation countersuit argues that his case had no legal merit and was simply an intimidation tactic, a misuse of the judicial system because he couldn't win with bars. That argument is devastating because it strikes at hip-hop's foundation: competition, expression, authenticity. Even if Drake somehow wins in court, his perception damage is permanent. No one wants to hear a rapper talk about being real when he sues over song lyrics. The second countersuit is even more brutal. accusing him of setting a dangerous precedent where artists could be punished for creative expression. It specifically defends Kendrick's use of metaphor and satire, arguing Drake's lawsuit threatens the artistic freedoms hip-hop depends on. Culturally, it means Drake tried to bend the rules, but the rules are now bending him. And his timing couldn't be worse. For months, fans have clowned him for how terribly he handled the Kendrick beef. Instead of responding lyrically, he leaned on holograms, theatrics, subliminals, and now lawsuits, each move making him look weaker. When Not Like Us dominated streaming, Drake could have dropped a powerful comeback, but instead he ran to the legal system, something unheard of in hip-hop history. To make matters worse, this legal disaster is affecting his business world. UMG reportedly stepped in behind the scenes, especially after situations involving creators like Kai, and executives were blindsided by how fast the case unraveled and how damaging it became. Rumors say UMG pressured Drake to withdraw his filings to avoid further embarrassment, but it was too late. His silence spoke volumes, and in the public's eyes, he had already lost. The lawsuits may be legal documents, but to fans and peers they represent something deeper, a betrayal of the culture. Hip-hop has always had beefs, but no one has ever sued their way out of one, making Drake's actions not just embarrassing, but historic. Artists like 50 Cent, The Game, and Joey Badass made subtle jokes about the situation, echoing the same sentiment. You don't sue your way out of a beef. Hip-hop respects competitive energy, not legal paperwork. Drake's actions scream insecurity in a culture built on authenticity. Kendrick's Not Like Us didn't just diss him. It portrayed him as a manufactured product pretending to be an artist, and Drake's legal response only confirmed it. Even Drake's biggest fans admit this might be the most hip-hop move ever made by a major rapper. Meanwhile, online spaces are full of jokes and memes breaking down his downfall. Instead of controlling the narrative, he's become the narrative, the rapper who couldn't handle a diss track and brought lawyers to a microphone fight. The irony is heavy. Drake built his image around control, the artist who could outsmart everyone. But now he looks like someone who doesn't understand the culture at all. People within his circle reportedly warned him this would backfire, but he ignored them. His legal team is being criticized for not anticipating this cultural backlash. Some even say they helped destroy his brand while trying to protect it.